the notorious and infamous Joe McCarthy, the House Un-American Activities Committee. This is what this reminds me of. And when I go back to the 50s, I also think about how mainstreamed during that time was white supremacy. It was mainstreamed. It was so mainstreamed that presidents had to call out the troops to maintain order or to bring order. I'm reminded of the racist governor of Arkansas denying entry for the Little Rock Nine into the all-white Central High School. I'm sure you remember too, Dr. King. Back in '57, the little girls trying to get into the building and being spat upon and taunted and threatened. And I'm sure you remember, Dr. King, in 1962 in Mississippi, when James Meredith was to enroll at the University of Mississippi, and President Kennedy had to call out the troops to guarantee that they stopped the riots so that this man could enroll. And then again in '63, when the troops were called out by the president, as George Wallace stood in the door of the school and said, segregation today, segregation tomorrow, and segregation forever. I mean, that's mainstream white supremacy. Same thing when the troops had to be called out by President Johnson in 1965 to protect the civil rights marchers from Selma to Montgomery, marching for voting rights. And today, the clock has turned back. White supremacy extremism is again mainstreamed. This president came into office and revoked a 60-year-old executive order banning racial discrimination in federal government hiring practices, saying that it was now unnecessary. We've had the stripping of employment protections from employees of the federal government. We've seen the Civil Rights Division of the Department of Justice gutted and diverted from its mainstream activities. And at the same time, we have experienced we've experienced attacks on the rule of law. The top wealthy, most powerful law firms, some of which bent the knee to this president because he threatened them. We've seen him go after the mainstream media because they would not renounce diversity, equity, and inclusion. We've seen him go after top universities trying to get at their research funding, threatening to cut it off, and actually cutting it off unless they rooted out diversity, equity, inclusion. It's mainstream. White supremacy is mainstream extremism. Nonprofit corporations have been attacked, like the SPLC, organizations that offer legal assistance and provide advocacy for victims of white supremacy and racial discrimination, organizations which advance the cause of civil rights and voting rights for Black people, like the SPLC does. Southern Poverty Law Center is under attack because they're standing up against the erosion of our democracy. Professor Fair, America may not realize that election workers have recently faced bomb threats, harassment, and targeted intimidation simply for doing your job, and you've issued reports about that. How are these threats part of the larger racial-based suppression tactics, and is this a reason why your organization has come under attack by this administration and by this committee? Gentleman's time has expired, but you may answer.
Thank you. Congressman Johnson, yes, we believe that there is a direct threat to free and fair elections, and we believe that we are a target of this administration because of the effective work we've done for 55 years.
Thank you, sir. I stand with you on your
Gentleman's time has expired. Recognize